Hello guys and welcome to another MyDMX 2.0 tutorial, once again looking at the effects engine. Today I'm going to show you my favourite feature of MyDMX, and that's its pixel mapping ability. And you may be thinking, I've never heard it could do pixel mapping. MyDMX could do pixel mapping better than any other lighting console I've used, and that's pretty high praise. Let's take a closer look at what this thing can actually do. So let's start a new scene, as we always do, and open up the scene builder here. Let's grab all of our RGB LED fixtures and let's beam them on. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the pixel effects. However, the selection order is very important here. Now currently, our selection order is a bit all over the place because we've just clicked and dragged over all the fixtures. So I'm just going to select the fixtures in a bit more of an order, going from left to right and then right to left. And then we're going to go back into the effects and create a pixel effect. And a pixel effect basically allows you to create a custom sequence of colors and apply that across your fixture selection. So starting off at the top here, you've got some inbuilt ones to choose from. We've got a rainbow chase here, some kind of chaser effect here. What this effect basically allows you to do is create a step-based effect through various colors. So if we go down here, we can see all the colors that it's currently going through, and we can remove colors and add colors. Let's start from scratch. So we're down now to 2 colors. If you click on the colors themselves, you can change what they are. So I'm going to create a blue, and let's go with white. A blue and white chase. Actually, let's go with blue and pink, because everyone loves pink. So we've now created a simple 2-step color fade between blue and pink. If we go down here, we've got some options for color width. This basically chooses on the waveform of the color how wide you want that color fade to be. If we make it narrow, it's going to be a little bit more kind of steppy and a narrower window of color. If we make it wider, it's going to be a very gradual fade across all of our fixtures. The gradient is how smooth or sharp you want the color fade to be. You can see we're currently on quite a sharp gradient, and it's just chasing along. There's pretty much no fading at all. Let's put a little bit of fading on. That's quite nice. Direction as well, you can choose whether you want it going from left to right or right to left. Let's add some more colors. Pressing the plus button, we go ahead and add as many colors as we like. We've now got a simple 3-step color chase between blue, pink and red. We can just keep adding as many colors as we like. So we can change the duration up here if I want it a bit faster. Let's go for 5 seconds. Got a bit of a faster color chase going on. And then we can press the tick button here and it will generate a new scene. Close the fixture builder, and it's created us an 11-step sequence which we can play back, and it will give us that nice color fade effect. That is one of the color effects inside MyDMX. Now let's take a look at my favorite. If we open up the scene builder here, this time it doesn't matter about our selection order, and I'll show you why in just a second. Go over to effects, and we're going to add a color matrix effect. And what you'll see is this strange little window appear in the bottom left with a rainbow gradient. Now this is the reason why when I was building the layout in my scene builder, I created a virtual representation of my lighting rig, because that way I can pixel map across the rig. If we see here, we've got this little rainbow gradient. I'm going to click on the corner and drag it across all my fixtures, and you'll see that rainbow chase is now applying across all of my squares within the scene builder, which, because they're laid out exactly as they are in the real world, is basically allowing me to pixel map across all of my fixtures. This is one of my favorite features of MyDMX. If we look here, we've got some different options to choose from. We can go for a rainbow chase. This one here is called balls, just bouncing balls around the screen. We've got bursts of color, a fire effect, kind of a rotating gradient, spirals, wipes from left to right. There's loads of effects to choose from here. Let's go back to the rainbow effect here. And just as before, we can create our own custom sequence of colors. So let's say I want a red and blue. You'll see it's now wiping red to blue from left to right on the scene builder and across my fixtures behind me. We've got similar options underneath with our color width. You can see here visually what's happening to the color. The waveform is getting wider. We can change the gradient here to make it more of a sharper change. We can change the direction, make it go bottom to top, something like that. Let's go for right to left. And changing the gradient position here, if we put more of a gradient on, we can go ahead and adjust where we want the gradient, whether we want it stepping in and fading out, or fading in and stepping out. Let's go for fading in and fading out. We can then, again, change the duration, and once we're done, click tick, and we create a new sequence. And that is the color matrix effect in MyDMX, and it's one of my favorite features. Let's have a look at another one. Let's go back into our scene builder here. Once again, grab all those fixtures, go back to our effects, and another color matrix effect. And let's drag it over our fixture selection, and let's go for a different one this time. Diamond, that's quite an interesting effect you've got going there. Or we can kind of wipe in and out like you see there. Now MyDMX doesn't advertise itself as a piece of pixel mapping software. However, this is better than a lot of pixel mappers I've used on bigger lighting consoles. You can even here add custom text. Now you may be thinking, why would you want to do that? Well, if you've got fixtures that can pixel map that have got lots of different LED segments, like a LED matrix, you can actually, through MyDMX, run text across your fixtures without even needing some kind of media server. I can't really give enough praise for the color effects engine. I think it's one of the best parts of MyDMX. And again, when you go ahead and select one of these pre-generated effects, you get different controls underneath for adjusting how they play back. We've got a nice cool wipe from right to left here. So I think that looks pretty cool. But now what if I wanted to grab my Inno Spot Pros and make them do a movement effect on top? Well, you can easily do that. Let's go ahead, grab the Inno Spot Pros, let's grab the Pocket Spot Twins as well, turn them on, and then we go back to the effects tab and we can let's add a curve effect. And you'll see here we've now got both effects running at the same time. You can scroll down here at the top, we've got our curve effect, and underneath we have the color effect. So I can then go ahead and apply this to the tilt value. Let's slow that effect down ever so slightly. Adjust the size. And change the phasing value ever so slightly. So now we've got two effects running at once, both a position effect and a color matrix effect. And when I'm happy, I can press generate. And it'll now generate a nice 15-step sequence, which I can play back with both effects running at the same time. As I said in the last tutorial, once you've generated the effect, you can no longer go back and edit it in the same way as you did before. You can do some basic editing, as I showed, by adjusting the attributes from the steps that are generated. However, if you want to get back to that same interface that you used before, you either have to recreate the effect, or by using the save feature to save that effect to open up later to re-edit or reapply to different fixtures. So that's another look at the effects engine in MyDMX and a look at the really cool pixel mapping you can do in the software. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching.